Good morning. We're here in beautiful downtown Effingham, Illinois. Oh, it was an idiotic statement. All right. You guys like that thumbnail? Oh, we got our Dunkin' Donuts, right? Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Donuts don't love me, so we don't do that. We don't do that. Sugar bad, sugar bad. It is a wonderful Wednesday morning. Had to look at my watch. And we don't deliver till 10 o'clock tonight. I'm only 6 hours away. So, thought about going into the shop. I think I blew a fuse in my rear. That sounds bad. In my 12-volt plug-in over here. So, I gotta figure out that because I don't have the box thing to tell me where all the fuses are. But we'll do some shout outs, let everybody get in here, all 10 of you. And man, check how close this is to me. Check this out. You guys see that? This morning I woke up and I hear this extra rumbling. Always lock your door when you're inside the truck. I heard this extra rumbling. I'm like, oh man, I hope my APU belt's not about to go out, and all this stuff. And I look, man, this guy's over the line. Like if he pulls out and he's not paying attention, he's gonna take my mirror out. So, but that's how these spaces are. The spaces, I'm literally looking at the fuel line. Right? Easy access to restrooms and trash can, and the spots here are skinny. Like they're real skinny. Like, let's squeeze an extra spot in there. Got to make that money for those paid spots, right? But all right, let's do some shout outs. We'll get all 16 of you. I appreciate every single one of you. Click that thumb thing. Click that. Do one or the other. Apparently this smash the like button thing is like not just on the one channel that everybody despises, but it's on all the channels. So I guess I gotta say the phrase smash the like button or something. So, because I'm gonna tell you what to do and you're gonna obey blindly, obediently. You're gonna be obedient and do what I tell you because I'm here and you're there. That's how that works, right? So, anyways, Trucking and Brokering Podcast first with his brand new name. That is Eric, also known as Trucking Podcast and OD, and also AK known as Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. Daniel Adami, Alan Paquette, Jose, what's up? Good morning. Big Houston, Don Shonger, what's up? Marty, hashtag KW. Yes, hashtag KW. That's a KW right there. Big Rich, you are in the house. What's up? Other trucker James Best, Overtaxed in Minnesota, Alan Paquette, GNC Family Trucking, Cascade Transport. How you doing there, Richard? Doing okay? I haven't heard from you. Oh, you've been off, so you've probably been enjoying that home time. Doing that like trucking freedom thing, right? Turn it in now just in case. Oh, the mirror? Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll be awake when he pulls out, but Jesse, what's up? Yeah, there's serious rumbling. Yeah, I got my APU, it's on high. For some reason, if I got the AC on low, it just like the HVAC breaker still cuts out. So, something, good morning. It will cost you for me to smash that button. No, it's going to cost you. That's how this works, Thomas. You give me stuff, and money, and attention, fame, fortune. That's how this works, right? Isn't that how YouTube works? I tell you what to do, and you give to me. Hey, speaking of which, Thomas, check this out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that truck and trailer. Yeah. Look at that. See that, Thomas? See what I did there? Why aren't you driving one of them brand new Freightliners? I know why. BLR, good morning. Man, we're like 10 minutes into this, and all I've said is good morning. I haven't said anything of value or of importance whatsoever. Now, guys, it is an interesting time that we are living in. First of all, I'm really focused on my business, and that is, believe it or not, that has enabled me to kind of get away from the social, civil aspects that we're all dealing with, the negative aspects. And I think James Best can attest to this, that once you can get focused on something, you still want to be aware, but I think that having that focus definitely helps you keep a clean, calm mind. Now, don't get me wrong, I've got not one but two tools ready to go if things go south, but I don't think that'll happen yet. So Harold Huffman, how long till you roll out? Not for a while, Harold. I don't deliver till 10 o'clock tonight. If you say you can come in a little early, so I'll probably time it to where I'll leave here about noon, maybe. And I got to figure out my fuse thing. I should be focusing on doing stuff for my truck, but I'm narcissist. I would rather go live and talk to you, my beautiful friends, beautiful people, and discuss current affairs, whether in business, personal, and or political. Well, not political. Screw that. But there is an all-out war on conservative efforts. Let's do Google, YouTube, and Facebook. Just saying. But Neil and Dami, I think I said hi to you. Good morning, there. Eric had a good video this morning. Trucking and Brokering podcast. And it's funny, he mentioned about Landstar being a dispatch service, and I didn't think about that for a minute, but then it made sense, right? By the way, their current numbers, Eric, is 73 with your own trailer, 65 by yourself without using their trailers. But Harold's in the house. We are blessed. Harold just told me yesterday that he does not watch Trucking YouTube at all. Like, he hates all of us. Like, all of us. He hates all of us. So I'm very blessed that Harold has overcome his prejudiceness to watch me for 5 minutes drink something that he absolutely hates. So I appreciate that. So let's talk about the topic at hand. There's two topics I want to talk about. Ralph Loto, what's up? I just did a recorded video. I recorded that last night, but I went ahead and published it this morning. And I appreciate that people want to help people. I really do. Because there wasn't this kind of help. Well, let me rephrase that. this kind of help on YouTube to become a business owner or an owner operator or whatever was not that great back when I started. Not to date myself or whatever, but because I wouldn't date me, but you know, I remember James DeJong, when I made the decision to be an owner operator, which was influenced by him. He takes all the credit. He said, he started sending me all these videos, right? And I remember watching these videos like for a second, like 5 minutes, and realized that I hadn't done any of the preparations that these guys are talking about. And I don't know if I could find those videos because there were generic titles and there was only a few people doing them back then. Now if you type in how to be an owner operator, there's going to be 3,197,000 entries into that field. And what I've noticed is that there's a lot of information out there, so it can be overwhelming, right? Like the whole gun stuff, it's been overwhelming, right? But at that time, I wasn't ready to hear that message because technically I wasn't ready up here. I was falling short, the same shortcomings that a lot of people when they first become owner operators deal with. And that is that the truckers pay the bill. That's the thing. You got truckers that pay the bill, and then you got business owners. Meanwhile, there are people that have been driving half the time I have that are being real successful, and they're helping me along with things because they came in with the business mindset, not I'm just a trucker paying the bills, see? Is Mike here? No, I didn't know Mike was here. You guys are on that Stalker 360 all the time. Let's go check that out. Oh, look who's someone's coming up on me there. Yeah, Mike is here. Hey, should we go bang on Mike's door and scare the crap out of him? He's way back there. I don't know if I want to walk that far. Dang, Mike. I doubt Mike's even watching. It is my way or the kick rocks. No one else knows as much of me, right? Galloway, sorry. That didn't go well the last time it was suggested. That's true. Harold's referencing, I believe, Daniel Adami knew where CPAP, the trucker, or whatever name he's going by now, was. And he did a live feed where he went up to his truck, climbed on the step, and shook it. A person we know may or may not have influenced Daniel to do that, and CPAP was not happy about it at all. But we all got a laugh out of it, so. Well, dang it, Mike, when are you leaving? You should come up here. I'm facing the fuel island. Man, we got not one but two like trucking guys in the same spot. That's a rarity, folks. We're usually all over the place. If it's not a... he was pissed off, Daniel. He was. Someone did you that way one time. You remember that, Soiler? I don't remember that. That's what I was talking about. Stop distracting me. That's the most frustrating aspect of the live feeds. Talking about something and someone distracts me. Because I'm sure that's really fun for the viewer. God, get on with your point, Steve. Shut up and just make your point. Anyways, I wasn't willing to accept that information because I knew that mentally I didn't make all the steps. So I made a lot of the same mistakes that a lot of us make when we first come out here, especially the self-dispatch system, like Landstar. And I had to learn a lot of hard lessons. And luckily I did a couple of things right before I went into it to make sure that nobody was going to take my kids, my house, my wife, none of that. Because I had the support from the wife. It wasn't a $180,000 truck. And we had a little bit of line of credit to kind of float us through. Now, Trucker's Coach did a video about credit. And I guess him and James Best, they want to go at it. They want to like meet in the alley or meet by the flagpole at 3 o'clock and have a fight about credit. And just like I pointed out in my video this morning, there's if you are bad, okay, so let me rephrase this so I don't piss everybody off, okay? There's good credit, bad credit. Truck loan, trailer loan, that's good credit, right? A business credit card that you use and pay off is vital and important in my opinion. But you have to have the ability to pay it off when you can't overextend yourself, I guess. Because next thing you know, you do get buried under credit. You know, trust me, I know. As I tell you, I know. And so, but most businesses rely on revolving credit. There's a lot of videos on it. A lot of very successful people have been teaching me on it. There's Mike. Hi, Mike. You guys want to see Mike? Look, there's Mike. No, he doesn't want to get this. Alright. So, you haven't missed anything. I have literally said nothing. Fight. Tea time, right? Distracting you is fun. It is fun because it makes me look like the idiot that I truly am, right? Anyways, Truck for Life, good morning. Nothing witty. Mike Miller's in the house. And so I believe in both, right? You don't want to overextend your credit, but you have to have some kind of credit. And same thing with the cost per day. I look at my cost per day. Here, I'll show you guys something. You guys want to see something cool? So I have Truckin' Pro Fogline software to keep track of my business. And it calculates everything down to the penny, cost per mile, okay? Now, so what I do is every month, when I do the software, instead of printing out a paper and wasting trees, I do my P&L statement, and that P&L statement I actually take a picture of with this beautiful phone, and I put it in my little tiny scanner program. Got to be careful what I show you. I want all the information out, like my address and crap like that. Be real careful. Right? So it breaks everything down. Right there. That's for the month of. That's for 1 month, right? There's my cost per mile for each item. Then at the end, don't laugh when you see this, okay? Don't laugh. I'm really insecure about this, okay? All right. That's my P&L statement for the end of May, okay? So that tells me that with the miles that I ran 5,000 miles, okay? I was whole 13 cents a mile. Well, why is that, Steve? I thought you were making money. My average revenue per mile was $1.16. A lot of deadhead. I stayed in the same area. Okay, I didn't run that much in May. Then average expenses all miles was $1.39. Now you're thinking, well, Steve, why is your expenses so high? I'm driving a brand new truck. My expenses are 88 cents a mile. Well, that's not right. But this is why, right here, total miles. Okay, so miles play a role, an important role. Okay. So I actually had negative profit, and I can look at a glance and see that, right? So when I'm looking at the load boards and I'm making phone calls, I'm able to, now that's my business, okay? Now, so what I do is on the edge of the paper there, I will write down what I give the house. I give the house a set amount every month. And then oh, it gets better. Then I take these calculations and divide it by the days that I worked in May, which is kept track in, it's not up here, in a planner that I fill out every day that says how many miles I ran, how many days that I worked, and all that, right? Negative profit, aka loss. No, negative profit's a better term, nothing witty. And so I look at what I made per day. I look at what my costs were per day, and I look at it, you know, and then I'll add the house in to see if I'm on point to pay the house bills, because the wife's going to be like, this whole trucking hobby thing's getting kind of annoying because you're not paying me money, right? Trust me on that, okay? She gets annoyed when I don't give her money, and it allows me to see exactly where I'm at, because if I went just by my deposit slips, I would have known that I was $662 in the hole. Now, why was my cost so high in the month of May? Well, because I had a $3,000 worth of repair maintenance done in May. So there's that. See? Now in April, I was only $300 something in the hole, but I only ran for 2 weeks. See? And so this is the mindset that I've acquired in the last 6 years of fumbling out here like an idiot. And that is something that I didn't have when I first started. Had I had this approach in the beginning, I would have probably made a lot different decisions and mindsets and all that kind of thing. So a lot of times these messages that YouTubers put out there, people aren't willing to accept them. People aren't willing to, like when I say, hey, you don't want to do this, and they're like, oh, well, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, well, do that. Well, now it's hard. Well, I told you not to do that, you know? And when I give advice, I do it in a reserved, cater to what your needs are kind of way, based off my experience. Not because I know more than you, because I'm smarter than you. I know more than maybe someone that's coming out because they've never ran a business before. So I'm going to tell you how I stumbled through it in the dark, and then you don't have to stumble as much, right? Now, big picture, your mind. Okay, this is gonna. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Now, for the year to date, I print this out, okay? Big picture. So, May sucked, right? Negative, what was it? Negative 16 cents? What was that? Right? Negative 13 cents a mile I made. I actually paid 13 cents a mile to drive this beautiful green awesomeness around the country. Well, certain parts of the country. But look at this. Look at my expenses there. $1.07. Average revenue per mile, $1.33. Average profit per mile. What is that? 27 cents a mile. Well, gee, Steve, as a company driver, you can make 60 cents a mile. True. Very true. But that's where you get in the whole, I do this for the freedom. I do this because I own a business, and there are times when it's higher and there are times that it's not. And so this breakdown this will do. It will do for every load, okay? I can literally look at a load and I profited like 80 cents a mile on that load. Profit, okay? Now, that's the big picture, okay? So I had 2 bad months that I was in the red, okay? But doesn't mean the whole year shot. Doesn't mean the whole, so like a lot of people that didn't want to run during, big sea world because they were afraid of their trucks breaking down. I get it. You do a load for 1,000 that used to pay 2,000 and you blow 2 tires. Your profit's gone, right? You just ran for free. But if you look at it like that, that's a limiting mindset. See? You can't look at it like that. Now, if you can't afford to fix a truck, that's a different story. But what I've always learned, let me rephrase that. What I've had to learn, and I've been guilty of this, okay? Holy crap. I've been guilty of this. Is you always got to stay moving, because if I was a company driver making 27 cents a mile, I'd be like, you know what? You better run me some miles then, right? Now, if I ran more miles, my expenses per mile would go down. Now, why is my expenses down quite a bit? Because I got my payments deferred, okay? So then I got my payments on the truck deferred into half for 4 months, and I got my no trailer payments for 3 months, okay? I set that up in the 2 weeks I was off at home in April. And Jeff has talked about this. It allowed me to run and still profit while the rates were at rock bottom, okay? And that's key. I kept moving. Now, if I blew a turbo, could I afford to fix it? No. Well, actually, yeah, I had money in the bank. But I was holding on to that because I didn't know what COVID and Riot World were going to do, right? And so I held on to that money. So I had money, I had credit, I could handle a turbo, I could handle my injectors go out. Now, would it suck? Would I be in the red for a minute? Yeah. If I have an $8,000 truck repair, guess what? I'm going to be in the red for a month or two. That's how business works. Sometimes you're in the red, sometimes you're in the black, sometimes you're like, wow, we're making money left and right. And so by me getting my costs down by like 20 cents a mile, I was able to take the lower rates and still do the stuff that I like doing and still make a profit. Okay? And that's what it's all about. Now, if I can't pay my house bills on that 27 cents a mile, that's on me. That's why I don't go out and buy new cars. That's why I don't go out and buy all the toys. That's why I don't go out and buy RVs or boats or anything like that, because the way I run, I can't afford that. And I know that. And that's important. That's important to know that. So that's what I mean by the big picture. You got to go by the big picture, because for 1 month that you know, and so now, okay, so let me show you guys this, okay? So now I look at this, I got the whole story right there. Everything is right there in front of me in black and white. And I sit there and I'm like, okay, my truck fuel was 33 cents a mile. My DEF was literally a penny per mile. Accounting, that's a little bit high, but that's only a penny per mile. Insurance was 5 cents a mile. Cell phone's kind of high, but I pay a lot for really good service, and I got a lot going on there. You know, and I can look. Okay, let's look at supplies. Supplies are a penny a mile so far, and that's like the wipes and the tools and the paper towels and the, you know, all the miscellaneous stuff that you buy on an everyday basis, you know, in the truck. Whether you buy at Walmart or the truck stop, whatever. Like, I'm going to buy fuses, that's considered supplies, right? So that's a cost that I can control. Truck fuel is something I control. So I can look at this whole thing right here, okay, and I know exactly what I need to improve. Now, you business-minded people that are watching this, you're probably looking at my numbers and saying, Steve, I know what your problem is. You need to run more miles. You need to get better rates as you're running more miles. And you're absolutely true. I'm probably behind the mark on my quarter, my first quarter, for the tune of $10,000, because I didn't run any miles. I was running a lot of these shorties that gave me higher net, and that was another reason why my cost per mile, or my the damage, I guess you could say, wasn't as bad. You know, I don't recommend running the entire country 3,000 miles a week at $1 a mile. I don't recommend doing that. So you can't go by just per mile. Now, if you break it down and you're doing that in 3 days, which you can't do 3,000 miles in 3 days, then you look at it differently. So I don't know if you guys caught this on Coach's live feed last night, but he or the other night, but he talked about how much money he made, how many miles he drove. Now remember, he's a cost per mile advocate. I mean, he's all about that. But did you see the part where he kind of said, well, I made this much in this many days? There you go. There's your revenue per day. So you do both in this situation. You know, so if you looked at it by the mile, it was all right. But if you looked at it by the day, it was actually pretty good. And that's kind of the approach that you have to have in a down market. And as volatile as the spot market is, you can't go by each load. You can't go by each, you got to look at the whole bigger picture. And that's kind of what my video was about last night that was uploaded this morning, was that you got to look at the big picture. You can't just individualize each load, because if you do that, you're going to go crazy. And so you have to see the big picture, and you have to have a program, okay, that gives you that big picture. Because if I had done this when I first started, I'd probably be in a brand new truck by now. I'd probably be a little bit further along. Hell, I might even have my own authority by now, if I so desired. So let's look at some comments here, because I've been blabbing way too long. Way too long. Mike Mentor once stalked me. He was following me from Hasty to Joplin. I didn't even know. I stopped at the Crump Shop and he walked into the back parking lot. Good positive mental attitude, negative profit. There you go, Alan, right? You've been a huge help to me. Thanks. You are the smartest. I don't know about that, but I appreciate the compliment. And give me a holler when you start rolling again there, Rick, everything is risky. If you don't take chances, you will fail. Right. You're guaranteed to fail if you don't take a chance, right? So Nathan Galloway, 11,800 back in April. It was horrible. Yeah, I mean, April was, it was not the greatest, you know? And, you know, and that's something you got to understand. You know, that's something that if you want to become an owner-operator, you got to understand, because you're going to have months that you're not going to be able to pay the home bills. Business has to come first. Business is what makes you the money. Just like, you know, if you're a company driver, you have those weeks where the truck's down, they weren't able to give you miles, or something happened that you weren't able to run. You know, it happens. Up. Food Boots is in the house. The Hool says, I don't know what did the Hool say right there, because I don't know if that's Norwegian or Swedish or whatever. I don't know what that is. So no. Keeping track is important. I can't express that enough. I've been that guy. I've been the guy that measured. I was that guy at Landstar measuring my success off of my deposits list. I've been that guy. And it's fun at first, but then what it does is it doesn't give you a clear picture of how you're doing. And that is, you know, and it was once told to me by a person who's probably not even in here watching, that to look at all this stuff would stress them out. It complicates it, right? It's not complicated. Now, my program, you got to be computer savvy. You got to kind of know a thing or two. But once you get a routine and you keep up on it, because, you know, Kevin and I were talking about this because he uses the same program. We're like, you know, I think he had to catch up like 6 months. I had to catch up 9 months earlier this week. But, and that's one of the things I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to be better at doing my homework, as Scott will put it. So, but Pigtail, I forgot to say hey to you. I hope you're enjoying your vacation. But knowing where you stand in all facets. If you want to measure your business by the day, that's fine. But that can also put you in a position where you're doing $600 a day for 600 miles, and eventually that's not going to work. Okay. Especially if your costs are like $500 a day, right? So it's not, but, and then you're in a position of quantity over quality. The best part about being self-dispatched and working off percentages, you can get quality and quantity, right? So if I want to do a longer run for quantity, I'll do it, and then I'll try to get a couple of shorties that pay really good rate per mile. Well, I could sit here and brag to you that, okay, so here's a perfect example of how rate per mile can fail you too. I can sit here and brag to you in April, I made stuff that was literally $4 and $5 and $6 a mile, right? But I was in the hole $300. Well, how's that happen? Well, because I was making less per day than I like to make. They were short runs. They were literally 80-mile runs that I was making $400 and $500 on. And then I'd sit a day. So, but I can brag about the rate per mile I got. Oh man, I got $4 a mile in April during COVID world. That's awesome. So you can't just focus on just one thing. And that's the whole point of this. And I'm going to let my coffee get cold if I'm not careful. Anyways, any questions, comments, concerns? Tell me to screw myself. Whatever you want to do. If you hate me, hit the thumbs down twice. I only did my taxes yesterday, but I almost didn't do my taxes because the tax place I go to was going to be closed till the 13th, and I couldn't wait till that day. And on the way back home, I saw this. Other place I did there, and I'm actually getting money back instead of paying money. Oh, Cascade, I missed your comment before. You guys have been a huge help to me. Thanks, you're the smartest. That one, I appreciate that, Richard. Was there one before that? I'm really bad about comments, guys, so if I don't read your comment, don't take personal offense, because I'm kind of an idiot. Except that you were implying that you were the smartest YouTuber. I'm definitely not the smartest YouTuber. But I've just been through a lot more crap than some of these guys, so now you distracted me. Gosh. Oh, Daniel, I was going to talk to him. All right, so Daniel, okay, so that was the struggle this time, right? So what you should be doing in your head, because you're a business owner now, Daniel, is what you should be doing in your head, in my opinion, again, I'm not an expert, not the guru, but my opinion is use this as a learning opportunity to know that next year we need to have our act together on the taxes so we can do them earlier. And now you have an idea of what things you can write off and everything else, right? So use what you've learned this year and apply it to next year, and next year is guaranteed to be better. Mrs. Hyde said focus. It's such a, I'm a male, right? She knows that that's a challenge for us, right? She knows that, right? That. So it's take every fall, take every stumble, take every time you trip and fall on your face and scar your face because you got rocks embedded in it. Take every single one of those moments and be grateful for them and learn from them. And you will always do better. You'll always be in a better position. You may not feel like it at the time, but that is how you learn to win, is by losing, by failing. So, you know, we use that term in YouTube a lot. Oh, that guy's a failure. So-and-so's a failure. So-and-so tried and he failed. So if I decide to hang up the keys tomorrow, would you guys call me a failure? Think about that. Would you guys call me a failure? Would you judge me so harshly that you would call me a failure? And if so, what if a year from now I get another truck and I do it all over again? What would you say? Oh, Steve's coming back out. He's gonna fail again. Right? We use that term like a derogatory statement. And that's the difference in mindset. You can't learn to win. Like, okay, let's talk guns for a second, right? If I'm shooting and the target and I keep missing the target, That is literally boom, fail, boom, fail, boom, fail, right? So I'm hitting the cardboard, but I'm seeing where I'm hitting the cardboard, right? So what do I have to do? I have to adjust my arm. I have to adjust how I'm holding stuff. You know, I'm breathing different. And then boom, now I'm starting to get on target. But you can tell by the cardboard, the big picture of where I'm failing. And then boom, I can get a little bit more accurate. I can work on a few bad habits. I can work on getting it right. Just like guitar playing. We can apply this in all aspects. I can do this all day. Guitar playing. I try a riff. I'm learning a riff. And I'll try it over and I'll fail. Over, fail. Over, dang it. Oh, wow, I'm getting it. Wow, I got it that time. Oh, I failed that time. And practicing is a series of failures until you succeed. That's it. Practicing, I'm going to say that again. Practicing is failure until you succeed. That's it. That's all it is. Whether it be guns, business, guitars, going to the bar, picking up chicks, whatever works, whatever floats your boat. You can't learn to walk without falling down. You can't learn, you know, that's what's scary about learning to fly a plane. You can't really fail at that, right? But that's how you have to look at it. So everybody's, oh, that guy's a failure. Oh, he's filed bankruptcy 18 times. He's a failure. If you don't relearn, that's a failure to learn, and that could be a bad thing. But that's the reality of it, right? So don't let any expert tell you that you're a failure. Don't let any of these people that think that they know more than you tell you that you're wrong, or tell you that you're bad, or tell you that you're an idiot. Eventually, if I see someone making mistakes, I point them out and say, you know, you might want to look at this because I made the same mistake. And then they'll be like, screw you, Steve. I'm like, okay, well, he'll learn eventually. And if not, hey, prove me wrong. I told Daniel Adami to prove me wrong on a couple of things. You know? Nothing would he lose my perspective. Choose to learn. I'm continuing to learn. I've learned through my mistakes I've done in the past. I've learned through you, OTJB, Provost, and Chucky. So I thank you for all the advice and help. And Daniel, that's awesome. And you're learning, dude, right? Because I want to see that video where you've got the title of that truck in your hand and you're flipping me the bird, Daniel. Right? Flip me the bird, Daniel. Not until you get the title. If you do it before that, that's just kind of rude. Okay? So, anyways, we got about 8 more minutes before I hit the hour mark, and people like want to tune out. So, you got to keep a positive mindset. Look at the big picture, okay? Look at the big picture. Because now people say, well, the devil's in the details. Absolutely. You got to know that you got to know the details, right? But you got to look at the whole picture, right? Now, if I'm like looking at the whole picture, I'm like, wow, you know, my expenses are kind of high. So what can I do? Well, I can run more miles to get rid of the fixed cost per mile. You know, that'll kind of cut that down a little bit. Oh, wow. It says here I spent $12,198 in truck washes. Maybe I don't need so many truck washes. You know, that kind of thing, right? And then, you know, next thing you know, well, if I eliminate truck washes, and only do one a quarter, or once a month, that cuts it down to X amount of dollars. See, so that's where the details become important, right? Is when you're analyzing something. But you can't just concentrate on one thing. Like I can't just obsess in my truck fuel. I just can't obsess in that. Oh my God, 33 cents a mile, 33 cents a mile. You know, it's not always going to be 33 cents a mile for every load. It's going to be different. You know, in Illinois, it's going to be higher because Illinois fuel is higher than, say, Missouri fuel. And then there's a IFTA. How do you calculate IFTA? How do you get that in there and all that stuff? And you're going to find the way that works for you through failure. That's how you're going to learn, right? That's my driving life, to prove people wrong. It's fun. Oh, Chucky, too much coffee. I'm only up to there on this. You're absolutely wrong. You're wrong, other trucker James Best. I'm just in a good mood. I don't know why I'm in a good mood, but I'm in a good mood. Because it's morning coffee time. It probably won't be this truck stroller, but a different one. Whatever works, right? But anyways, guys, any other comments, questions, concerns? Tell me to screw myself. Wonder what the hell's wrong with me? Any of those kind of questions? Welcome back is asking if Daniel's going to buy a new truck. I'm kind of torn. Part of me wants one of those new Vogels like Provos. Another part of me wants a W9. The problem with both those options is I can't seem to quite make the math work. Now you could sit there and say, well, Steve, if you get a new truck, your cost per mile is going to go up. Not necessarily. So let's do some math. Yay, math. Okay, so far between June 30th and the first of the year, I have spent $8,027. That guy. 0.46. Okay. We spent that much in truck payment. Okay. Plus, let's see, repair 6,812.8. So I've spent a total of $14,840.26 on the cost of owning this beautiful green piece of machinery. I failed at holding my calculator right. So I learned, and I'm putting it away. Alright, so see how that worked? Now let's divide that by 6 months. Divided by 6. That means I'm spending approximately a total of $24.73.37 a month on that truck. So essentially, if I got a new truck right now, right this minute, and I had the payments under $2,500, I can make that work. Now here's where it gets tricky. If I have a $2,500 a month truck note and I got to repair that, now my cost per mile just went up, or my cost per month just went up. Now, James Best has argued that, well, once you fix the turbo, you don't have to worry about it for a while. Once you fix this, you don't have to worry about it for a while. Once you get a rebuild, you don't have to worry about it for a while. That's true. But in my experience, in the 2 trucks that I've owned, in the 6 years I've been doing this, is that a truck's going to cost you an average of $12,000 to $14,000 a year in maintenance and repair. Whether warranty covers that, that's the trick. And that's what these big corporations do. They buy these new trucks, they use the warranties are up, off the trucks go. Off they go. because it's more cost effective for them to accept the downtime versus a truck nickel and diming them and kind of like unpredictable, right? So that's where a lot of people get in a lot of trouble, is you have a big huge truck payments, but then you still have a repair that you have to pay for and the downtime, which downtime is extremely hard to calculate on this program, or any program for that matter. Because if you're averaging $1,000 a day in the spot market and your truck's down for 5 days, that costs you $5,000 if you want to look at it like that. See? So there's a lot of factors, but I would love to own a setup like this. I like that. That's a good looking truck. Not that one. That one. Right? And I think it'd be pretty cool to have something like that. But I can't make the math work, because to get a truck looking like that, it's going to cost me about $3,000 a month in payments alone, let alone the fuel increase and whatever maintenance and repair. Because tires, brakes, light bulbs, a lot of things aren't covered under warranty that you still need. So the average truck, whether it be new or used, is going to cost you. I think bigrigceo, who's driving a newer Freightliner, said that his truck cost him like $14,000 last year outside of the warranty work. So Jeff's in here. Jeff's in the house. Just because you fix it doesn't mean the new parts won't break, and if they can say another part caused the breakdown, the warranty is crap. That's absolutely true. So let's say they fix my turbo and it goes out 6 months later, and they can go, well, this thing caused the turbo to go out, and that's a problem. So we're not covering that. You know, and what you guys don't hear a lot is there's a lot of people that are in kind of a mitigation with their shop. You know, that there's you know, sometimes you got to wait for if you're going through an outside warranty service, they got to have an approval, warranty approval. So there's a lot of factors at play, so you can't just rely on the warranty. So now if I can get into a new truck at about $2,000 a month, I can make that work. But I've yet to find that truck, even with the market. And I mean, I looked at a Volvo last month that was literally $15,000 less with way more incentives than it was 6 months ago. So but it still wasn't low enough. And the only way I can get my payments down to $2,000 or less is if I put a ton of money down, which I don't have, or they're going to give me a ridiculous, like, drug dealer money amount for this truck on trade-in. But as it stands right now, ain't nobody giving good trade-ins because the truck market is crap, right? So it's a catch-22. You know, and then part of me is like, well, do I want to dedicate 6 more years to a truck payment? Well, what else am I going to do, right? In 6 years, I'll figure something out. So whatever truck I get next is going to be the last truck, if I even get another truck. So, but yeah, that's a good-looking truck, man. Check that out. Let's all bask in how awesome that looks. Doesn't that look mean? Doesn't that look nice? He's got one of them trailers that's got one of them funny noise boxes in the front, but other than that, that's a good looking truck. Bask in that awesomeness. So, anyways. If that's the case, BRN, then the cost of the warranty isn't worth it. Is it better to save money to pay for the repairs? Well, that's the thing, Cascade. In my opinion, to buy a aftermarket warranty after you've bought the truck, that's a dicey deal. But if you get one included with the truck, whether you buy new or used, that's the key. And that's where I've screwed up twice I've screwed that up. I failed twice on getting a good warranty on a truck. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants. That turbo goes out, or my This is going to change quite drastically. And you know what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I owe so little on this truck that I could probably trade it in and maybe put a couple of grand down for a truck about $2,500 a month. I've already done that math, right? I could probably do that. Or I could just get a loan for the repair, you know, and oh man, this truck's gonna go right in front of us. Check it out. I don't know why I like this truck so much. Check it out. Got custom pinstriping, the whole 9 yards. Look at that. I guarantee you that guy is not doing $1.10 a mile on the spot market hauling watermelons. I guarantee it. New truck plus 14K, right? So it's so essentially you got to do what works for you. Now I see this all the time. I see it in Coach's channel all the time. These people ask, hey, I've got 15, 20, I've got $50,000 in the bank. Is that enough to start a trucking business? And let's say you save up 30 grand. You buy a truck and you still have 30 grand in the pocket after you get the truck, okay? But you get no warranty. You could have the turbo go out. Well, not a new truck, but a truck, okay? Let's say you bought a $30,000 beater, okay? And the turbo goes out. That's about 8 grand. I think the number was thrown around, it was like 3 grand. And I don't know what truck that is, but it's not a new modern truck. So, I know, done it. Been there, done that, okay? So, 8 grand for a turbo. Okay? And then the next week, your injectors go out. What's that cost, other trucker James Best? About 8 grand, right? So now you're down 16, okay? And then you get about 2 weeks. You let's say you get a full month with no issues. Man, your truck's running great. Then the DF system takes a dump, and that's about 15 grand. You see how quickly your money dissipates, and then the downtime associated with that. So you had to use part of that 30 grand that you had to pay your house bills, because you got brand new Ford F-150 and you got that boat payment, you know, that kind of thing. Next thing you know, you're broke. You went from 30 to 0 in no time. So warranty to me is important, or some kind of cash flow, whether it be credit, the ability, because like if everything, because other trucker James Best, he had a lot of stuff go down on him all at once. He was in the red for the first 2 or 3 months he was out here this year. But you know, his mindset that he was still making money, his mindset, I'm a business, you know, so we're going to be in the red a little bit, and now I'll be in the black. You know, he ended up getting his own authority. So he went from 2 major repairs, a lot of money being drained by the truck, to getting his own authority and being able to sit at home for a month. So I mean, it's all a mindset, you know. So anyways, guys, we are over an hour. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Keep a positive mindset. Mike, you can come out of hiding if you want to hang out for a minute, if you're watching. And guys, take care of each other. Be good to each other. Be safe. Be vigilant. Head on a swivel. Look at the overpasses. Look at that idiot next to you. Make sure he's not driving too close and get ready to shoot you in the head, okay? So, anyways, it's Mad Max out here. It totally is. All right, guys. If it is the factory aftermarket one, have bad reviews. We could talk a little bit more in depth about that Cascade. So, pigtails calling me. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.